Hello, Beatrice. How are my friends at Columbia Middle School doing this afternoon? I have some information to share, and I thought I would share it by giving you a glimpse into a principal's brain when they get toward the end of May. I have that demonstration in the next room. Let's go take a look. All right. Hang on. Do you get a sense of what's spinning in my brain? I'm going to take these one at a time and relay a little information, and then go back, as they say, to the drawing board, get some more work done tonight. But yeah, I never thought I would use this turntable for this information, but as I started thinking more and more about tonight's message, I thought it's time just to stop writing and verbalize some of the things that we are planning and working through so that everybody gets at least an idea about our planning, and also hopefully understands that there's a lot of work involved. And more importantly, just to let you know that as these things are coming up on your radar, they're on our radar, and we are taking care of them slowly but surely. So I'm just going to grab them at random, and I mean that sincerely. So let's start. Well, I did not want to actually start with this one first, but let's talk about the promotion ceremony. As you know, the promotion ceremony is going to be a virtual affair. The governor does not want us designing things that takes people out of their homes, and certainly doesn't want people at school in large gatherings. So we are working on how best to create a momentous occasion for our 8th graders as we promote them to 9th grade. Now remember, this is a promotion ceremony and not graduation. So when I say promotion, think that ceremony at the end of the year when we give our final goodbye to our 8th grade class. Gym lockers. I sent an email home with a survey to parents to tell us, did your child bring everything home on the last day of school, as the gym teachers asked them to? And there are a bunch of people, and we know that because it rotates and drops, that students perhaps did not get a chance to get into their lockers. There's still a bunch of stuff in the lockers at school, in the locker rooms. The unfortunate thing is, according to the survey, the vast majority of the students don't remember what their locker number was. So that is going to take a little bit of coordination on our part, and we are going to try to figure that out as best as we can by contacting the gym teachers. So stand by. The lockers in the locker rooms may be the last thing that we get to take care of, because we do not have all the information to make sure that your son's or daughter's sneakers end up heading to the right house. Awards night. Every year we do an 8th grade awards night, and that is on the second Tuesday of June, and it will once again be broadcast on the second Tuesday of June, and we are going to attempt to do that live. Yes. Even with all this spinning in our brains, we're going to try to get it done live. So stand by for more news about that. We always tell the students who have an award coming to them that they will be participating in the award ceremony. So we're not going to change that process. You will be notified ahead of time, a week ahead of time, if your child is going to receive an award that night. Typically, other students who are not getting awards on that evening don't attend, but since we're going to be live on Zoom that evening, anyone who would like to watch can watch. Mr. Scarra assures me there's a way to do this, and so we're going to do it. And we're going to do it live. So stay tuned for that. Promotion auditions. So during our promotion ceremony, we typically have students who speak. And we do have students who welcome everyone to the room. We have students who close out the evening by congratulating the students. And those auditions are still going to take place. If you're an 8th grader and you would like to participate, you were told a year ago that you should have signed up for public speaking this year. So if you are in a public speaking class with Mrs. Babick and you would like to audition, there's a way for you to get into the file so that we can read your speech and determine whether or not you're going to be selected to audition in order to be selected to participate. So it's a 2-stage process. You need to be selected to audition, and then you will be selected from those auditions to be one of the persons speaking on our promotion evening. More information coming from Mrs. Babick, but if you're in her class, you can contact her. GL orientation. I shared with you a film that Mr. Nixon typically shows to the students when they go to orientation, and that film is now posted online. With that film, I sent a questionnaire home. Any parents or students who have a question that Mr. Nixon can answer for you, we're happy to do that, and we will do that here on this Geiger's Garage program. So I am waiting to hear from anyone who has questions, and next week I'm going to talk to Mr. Nixon about those questions, and we will solidify that orientation. There's also an orientation for 8th graders at the end of the summer before school starts. So have no fear, there's more orientation things coming for your 8th grader. Diplomas. Diplomas, this is a little bit of a secret. You may have seen a child get a diploma at graduation, but what they're actually getting is the promotion packet. And in that packet are certain materials we want the child to have, but none of those things are specific to the child. The diploma does have your child's name on it, and it is what is the final thing that the students get at school before they leave for the summer. And that is when Frank Geiger receives the piece of paper that says Frank Geiger on it. So the diplomas are being developed, and we anticipate the diplomas going home with the yearbooks, as they do every year, not during the graduation portion of the ceremony, but later on with the yearbooks. Awards. As I said before, you will be contacted if your child is participating in the award ceremony, in other words, winning an award. We do not tell you ahead of time which award the child has won, and there's a multitude of awards. There's character awards, there's academic awards, obviously, there's a few sports awards. So there's a lot of different kinds of awards, and if your child is going to get one, you'll be notified. But the awards themselves that have the person's name on it, when Frank Geiger's award will say Frank Geiger was so good at this, that particular certificate will go home with the diploma, with the yearbook. All right? Fifth grade field day. Not so much for CMS students, but certainly some CMS families have 5th graders. The field day itself is run by the elementary schools. So what they plan to do with that day, I'm not aware of any particular specific things at this point. However, on the same day, that's when we do the orientation at our school, which has already been accomplished. The slideshow that I sent to you as a 5th grade parent was able to be viewed as a video. and I am soon going to send that slideshow home as a PDF document so you can take a closer look at it to see if you have any questions. And again, a questionnaire was sent home with that document as well. And if questions come in, Mrs. Acosta and I are going to take care of those questions here in the garage next week. Hallway lockers. Hallway lockers right now, Mr. Romano, Rick, and his crew are working very hard to make sure that every single locker gets put into an individual bag with that student's name and locker number on it. And eventually, perhaps starting next week, we will be contacting you to have you come to the building to pick up your child's locker. We were hoping to do the gym lockers with the hallway lockers, but that may not be possible. We know the locker combinations, we know the locker placements in the building, so that has been an easy task. The gym lockers are going to be a little bit more difficult. So put gym lockers aside for a moment and know that right now we are taking everything that's in the locker and putting it in a bag, except for water bottles, and by that I mean disposable water bottles, and food. If we find food or water, we're disposing of that, but every single thing else, yes, I'm sorry guys, but even the garbage on the bottom of your locker is being put in that bag because I don't want the custodians to try to determine, what is good and what is bad. So everything is going in a bag and everything will go home. If you happen to have a pencil case, loose pencils, some of you have pictures on the door of your locker, we are taking that all off as carefully as possible and putting it all in the bag. We are not going to send home school property. So if you had a history book in there or a science book, we're taking that away and only giving you what we believe is your property from your locker. We will contact you and arrange a time for individuals to come to the building, and we will have a series of schedules in order to do this so that we can socially distance ourselves appropriately as per the governor's orders so that you can come and pick up your lockers, the contents of your lockers. Trip refunds. If we don't do the trip, obviously we're going to refund you the money for the trip. There's a minor piece of this that might be hard to hear, but if we had to book the bus ahead of time and haven't gotten a refund from the bus company, we anticipate that we will be getting those refunds, but we may have to negotiate with the bus companies, and so the full refund, I anticipate giving you guys all the full refunds, but we have to do the accounting on all this first. So that is really going to be one of the last things that we accomplish this school year. But yes, our intent is to make sure that everyone is fully refunded whatever you've paid out for school trips that did not happen. Promotion packets. So these are the generic envelopes that every single child gets during the promotion ceremony that the people in the audience believes are the diplomas. But it's a packet of information that we want the student to have as a keepsake, and in there is kind of like a photo album where the eventual diploma will slide in and become a keepsake forever. So the promotion packets will be ready soon. Let me go to the next item. Gowns. As best as I know, the gowns have been manufactured, they were delayed, and they've been shipped. I'm hoping to get those in the building this week. If I can get the gowns and the promotion packets together, and I'm hoping that I can, I want to make sure that you guys get these. So I want these to be delivered to the houses, and we will make sure that it gets delivered to the house. And then part of the promotion ceremony, if you will, we would love for your child to put the gowns on, to be holding their promotion packet as if it's their diploma, and then we'd like the families to take photographs and share them with us so that we can put them together during the promotion ceremony. That's a loosely put way of how we're going to do the promotion this year, but that's basically what the plan is as I sit here today in my garage. Lastly, the yearbooks themselves. The yearbooks were delayed, the factory was shut down, and they have not yet been printed. However, we have been given kind of a freebie by the yearbook company. They are adapting our yearbook to an app that the students can download on their phones and have access to all the pictures, all their friends' photographs, the teachers, and etc. All those, including yours truly's photograph, have all those photographs in the app, and they can basically read and see the yearbook well before it gets distributed to us. We recognize that most factories in the country have been shut down, and they made it very clear to us that they're doing their best. But yes, and I would agree with this, high school yearbooks are first up on their print run, and they are printing high school yearbooks right now 24/7, and then they will get to the 8th grade yearbooks around the country. There's only a few huge factories that do this work, so we're waiting for them to spit our yearbooks out of their warehouse, and we anticipate them arriving on or about July 1st. So the yearbook, when it gets here, we will put the student's individual diploma inside that yearbook. We will put any awards that that child has won inside that yearbook, and that will be the yearbook pickup that we will arrange once we get all that completed. So I hope that that answered a lot of your questions, and please know that if you're wondering about these items, I am losing sleep over these items to make sure that we're doing everything possible to give your child the best recreation of a virtual remote end-of-year finish that we can. We want them to recognize how hard we're working to make this happen, and I'm not doing this alone. Everyone, from our secretaries in the main office to the custodians in the building, Mrs. Acosta, the teachers today met to talk about awards. They're meeting with me tomorrow to talk about what those Fridays are going to look like in June that we originally did not schedule for. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and I just ask for your patience, and if we slip up from time to time, your forgiveness. But for now, I think that's enough work to kind of share with you, to let you know that if you have a question about it, I'm pretty confident that we are thinking about it. And until next time, keep the faith. And students, the next time you're on a Zoom classroom, thank the teacher for being there. It's not easy, as you know, as members of that group. It's not easy every day to get up and at it as our teachers have been doing. They're making us very proud. And to you parents, I will keep the communications going. If you have any questions, use the forms. If you have a question that doesn't pertain to a form, obviously you can email me. All right? Best to you all. I hope this finds you all happy and healthy and enjoying the weather. Mrs. Geiger planted tomatoes today, so it's got to be getting a little bit warmer out there. I think I'll go take a look. Good night.